Time to preview the 2020 baseball season with the head baseball coach, Justin Haire. Coach, you guys begin the season on the road in Mobile, Alabama. Give us a sense of the excitement leading up to that opener down against South Alabama.
Yeah, I think when we talked last week, you said a sneaky fun series, down in Mobile with South Al. Coach Calvi and those guys do a tremendous job. They've had a really, really good program for a long time. So it's going to be a good tester for us straight out of the chute, see what we're made of. Should be a good measuring stick for us. So it'll be exciting to get down there and be in an environment that we've never been in before. Never been down there to South Alabama. And so it should be a lot of excitement. We got a lot of new guys. So it'll be a good tester right out of the chute on where we are, where we need to get to try to get back to another regional.
Weekend 2 is a very neat series for a couple of reasons, and it starts with hosting Purdue and Villanova and Maine, but also a chance to face a couple former Camels that weekend. Greg Goff, the head coach at Purdue, and Chris Marks, a name you guys know very well as the pitching coach now at Purdue. What's that series going to mean, not only from an X's and O's standpoint, but from a Campbell atmosphere?
Well, hopefully it'll be really good. I put them on Friday night so that we could be friends for the rest of the weekend after Friday. So, no, it'll be great. Obviously we're one great big family. Once a Camel, always a Camel. And so to have those guys back, especially Coach Goff, who spent 7 years here, helped build this place, for him to be able to come back and see what we've been able to kind of continue to do and continue to build here. And then, for Coach Marks to come back, 1 year after having been here and made a huge difference in our program over the last 5 years. Be a good game Friday night, and then hopefully we can, relax a little bit and have a little family time with those guys over the rest of the weekend. And I know they're doing a really good job of working hard up there and getting their guys right. So it'll be awesome to see those guys early in the year.
Another fun tournament as well is down at Segra Stadium, where Campbell won the Big South Championship. They get to play Air Force, get to play Army in a nice little 4-game tournament. Give us a sense of kind of bringing that all together and what's it going to be like to play some military schools in a fun weekend in Fayetteville.
Yeah, so the Woodpeckers came up with the idea of wanting to host a tournament down there every year. And so the first one we felt like would be pretty awesome to be able to get Army and Air Force, obviously with Fort Bragg down there, a huge Army installation, and a lot of Air Force presence down there. So hopefully we'll be able to get a bunch of fans out for that weekend. Planning some pretty neat stuff when it comes to the military community, and having the academies in will be a great honor for us to compete against those guys, as I know that when they graduate, they go on and serve our country. So really exciting from that standpoint. Know those coaching staffs a little bit. They all do a tremendous job. Their guys are very well coached. Army's been to back-to-back regionals. Air Force has had some really good teams, really offensive teams. So should be a really fun weekend down there. Going to be a good challenge for us. Should be a regional type atmosphere, and hopefully we can get a bunch of fans out and a bunch of the military community involved, and just have a great weekend down there, and a great atmosphere, a great stadium, and some great opponents.
Certainly some good offensive clubs and an easy trip to make down to Fayetteville. Coach, as you dive into the Big South Conference slate in March, you get to host High Point this year, you get to host Winthrop. Obviously a challenging schedule in the league, but what's it like to have some of the premier teams in the league come to Jim Perry this season?
It's great. Obviously, it's great to have an opportunity to host those good series. Every series in the Big South tends to be a grinder of a series, over the last 3 or 4 years. Doesn't matter, 1 through 10, whoever you hook up with seems to be a grinder of a series. So to be able to have those guys at home, Winthrop and High Point, and some of those guys back here at home, again, this year will be fun. Hopefully we'll get some good crowds, good weather, and all that stuff, because it's going to be intense. We're going to be on the edge of our seat, I'm sure, when it comes to those games, and just looking forward to getting in there and competing with those guys and seeing how we match up.
And, Coach, our favorite part of the schedule, at least from a big-time matchups, is some of the home-and-home series this year, with Duke coming to town, of course, NC State in a home-and-home, UNCW, a tournament team from last year, and you get to go up to North Carolina and play the Tar Heels. You guys have always prided yourself on a difficult schedule, and how does that come into play with also ECU as part of that non-conference slate?
Yeah, I just think it's important. We talk about it, a lot over the last 4 or 5 years, especially since 2013. Of driving a good non-conference schedule, strength of schedule. Last year we had the 12th or 13th ranked non-conference schedule in the country. And so to be able to get those in-state teams here is a testament, one, I think, to where our program is from a competitive standpoint, two, where our facility is from a development standpoint in terms of them wanting to come here, knowing that it's going to be a good atmosphere, knowing that it's going to be a good fan base and a good turnout. And then three, just trying to hook it up with the best teams that we possibly can. We're in a baseball-rich area and region, and so for us to want to get prepared to win a conference championship, to go to a conference tournament and feel good about our opportunity to win there, and then hopefully go on to a regional and put ourselves in a position to win in a regional, not just show up and be a participant, but actually win a regional, get to a super, have a legitimate shot to go to Omaha. It all filters back to how do you prepare? And for us, we're going to prepare with the best teams that we possibly can, and try to hook it up with the best teams in this region and see where we're at. And it's fun, and it's a lot of good rivalries and a lot of good teams that we have a lot of history with. So we're looking forward to hosting those teams and going to those teams on the road and playing in some hostile environments.
It's crazy to think, but the middle of February is not too far away, and we appreciate the time, Justin, as you break down the 2020 schedule.
Thank you.